Any day of the week, one can find Mark Jefferies working on his farm in Bedfordshire. But there's another quite different and unusual dimension to Mark. He's an internationally acclaimed aviator and leading importer of Russian Yak military aircraft to the UK.
When I was 7 years old, my father took me flying in a Tiger Moth from Cambridge Airport. And I remember looking down, I was sitting on huge cushions, looking over the side of the Tiger Moth, thinking how the houses looked like Lego brick houses. Father had an aeroplane on the farm here, and I was surrounded by aeroplanes, so it was sort of natural, as it were, once I'd saved enough money to learn to fly.
Early forays into the aviation business led Mark to America.
To fund the purchasing of aeroplanes in America, just after harvest, we'd have some money, and before having to pay for the fertilizer in the spring and the chemicals, we'd use the harvest money to buy the aeroplanes and hopefully get the aeroplanes sold over the winter period to pay for the chemicals in the spring. That's when cash was a little bit short supply.
A UK economic downturn ended Mark's American enterprise and led him to turn his entrepreneurial talents eastwards.
In 1991, I was introduced to a company in Romania for purchase of Czechoslovakian aircraft. And I just happened to say, "Oh, do you know about the Yak 52? And he said, "Oh, yeah, we make them here. Do you want to go to the factory?" The Yak was a training aircraft which soon, through necessity, developed into a fighter aircraft to train today's fighter pilots in Russia.
But what makes Yaks so popular to own?
Here we are in the cockpit of the Yak 52. The instrument panel here is pretty standard to all Russian aeroplanes. People can sit here flying, nothing around you bar the sky, and just let your mind drift back, and there you are in a fighter. A pilot who's flown this will be able to get into the L-29 jet, then into the L-39 jet, and then into the MiG-29, and recognise the instruments, recognise the layout where they all are. I was flying from Lithuania to Poland with an L-29, which is a Russian fighter trainer jet aircraft. I had to divert into Russia on the route because I'd made a mistake in the calculation of the wind speed. So I diverted into Russia, the nearest airfield, which was Kaliningrad. And they sent up a fighter, a Su-27, one of these big modern jets that you see at the air shows with missiles and things on it. And anyway, this fighter comes past. He does that and turns right in front of me. And the first thing that does to the aeroplane I'm flying is all this wake turbulence from the two massive exhausts on the aeroplane rolls my aeroplane upside down. And, well, without my aerobatic training, I think a lot of pilots might have got into difficulties. And he flew off, came round, did the same again. This time I just saw him accelerating, so I knew what he was going to do, so I just went downwards and he turned, so no effect. But he did this 3 times and he came past waving his fist. I thought, well, yeah, I know what that means internationally, but it's not in aviation law. But the last time I saw him, he was low down, pulling very hard. I was told that he only just missed the ground himself. That would have been a bit of an international incident if he'd crashed.
Such are the adventures of an airplane importer from what was until relatively recently the Eastern Bloc. As well as a businessman, Mark is also a competition stunt pilot of international repute and winner of numerous awards.
I entered my first competition and got a good result. I think I was 5th. Thought, oh, well, I'll have a go at this. I can show them. So, next year I trained a bit, quite hard, and I think I won 4 or 5 competitions in that year. The manoeuvres you had to do for the unlimited level, which is the top level, started getting beyond the capability of the aeroplane. So I couldn't fly that level anymore. So then I went back to advanced level and flew that internationally for a number of years. My best placing was 3rd in the world.
Yak City is the first in this exciting series about people with a bent for all things aviational and an innovative attitude to life.
Aerobatics is freedom, total 3D freedom. My philosophy is work hard, play hard, and life is not only about making money. make enough money to do what you want to do.